Hey, what's up, y'all? It's AWTM, and you know what this is. It is a Sistas recap. Now, I was missing in action for a little while, but I'm going to release these back to back. So, we're going to start on season 7, episode 15. The title of the episode is Love Means Never Having to Say You're Sorry. In the episode's description, it reads Maurice has a surprising suggestion for Sabrina. Danny seeks advice on how to best apologize to Tony, and Andy gets the upper hand in her client competition with Hayden. Okay, so the episode, I'm just going to go over the highlights, right? So I'm not going to go through each and every detail of the episode because we have a few to catch up on. So Maurice and Sabrina were having lunch in the break room. It looks like to stay away from his coworkers, so they're having lunch in the break room because Maurice does not want to be baited into getting in trouble, and I think that's a great idea. So while they were talking about her finding some kind of a donor for her in vitro, and he asked her, did she have any luck yet? And she was like, no, it's so hard to find a black man as a donor. And he went on to say that, yeah, the other men, they're available for it. They want $10 for a pizza, so they put their business in the cup. Around the same kind of thing that was said on the Atlanta Housewives by Phaedra when they were at the reunion. But it came off kind of corny. So I see what they were trying to do, the writers. But this joke came off kind of corny, so I really didn't like that. So Maurice comes up with the suggestion later on that she asked Calvin. She said that Calvin, or he said that Calvin is single now. It went from in a relationship to it's complicated to single. So he thinks Calvin would be the perfect candidate. Now, I don't think Calvin would be the perfect candidate because he has feelings for Sabrina. And this is going to bring all those feelings back. He's going to think they're a family. He might become a little possessive over Sabrina in the situation. So I just really don't think that's a good idea. Sabrina at first says, heck no, I wouldn't do that. That's not a good idea. But you can tell that she was kind of thinking about it. So much so that she went to Karen later on and asked her, would she have one of her exes as her baby daddies? Karen was like, girl, both my exes are my baby daddy. So they laughed it off or whatever. So I think Sabrina is thinking about it, but I hope she does not do that. Now, Danny arrives at Zach and Fatima's house. She wants some advice on how to apologize to Tony. And I really feel like I missed something because the last episode, Tony was trying to apologize for her for snapping out and flipping out on her about his kids, and she really didn't accept the apology. So now he's mad at Danny because she took too long to accept his apology, and now she's looking for a way to apologize. I just think that's kind of crazy. Like, he kind of flipped it on her. It's given that Tony is kind of manipulative, so I don't know. But they're sitting there, they're talking, and Zach is giving her some advice that has to do with fellatio and other things. And then Fatima says she's never wrong, so she doesn't apologize. They had some kind of fun banter between them. I really like the relationship that's developing between Danny and Fatima. I think they are similar to each other, and they're going to be very good friends. And she was already friends with Zach, so you know how that goes. Now, Andy shows up to Jordan's apartment with breakfast. She gets a chance to talk to Ethan for a little minute as Jordan steps away to say bye to his boys or let them know that he's not coming to play basketball. But he tells her all these great things about himself and all of these accolades. Jordan steps back in and he says, oh, did you know he was this, and that? And he went to this school. And Andy is like, oh, wow, I had a cousin that went to school around that time. Do you know him? His name was, and he was like, no, I really just had my head down. I was in the books. So I think Ethan's whole background is false. I think he's a good con artist. He's charming. He has the blonde hair. He looks nice. So he's able to talk his way in and out a few situations. So after Ethan leaves, Andy tries to kiss Jordan. Jordan is very cold. He kind of brushes her off. And he was like, you think you just bringing breakfast is going to fix everything between us? You lied to me about my sister. And she was like, no, I didn't think it was going to fix it. And he was like, well, I don't have time for anything, you or otherwise, until I find my sister. So Andy was kind of taken aback, and that's how things ended with them for that moment. But later on in the episode, they ended up making things right. So he ended up coming to her office, bringing her dinner, and everything's all good between Andy and Jordan. Speaking of Andy, back at the law firm, her and Hayden have a meeting with Miss Marie. Miss Marie is trying to uncover all of her soon-to-be ex-husband's assets, so she does not have to pay out a lot of money in the divorce, and I don't blame her. She has a lot of money, and he has the money too, come to find out. So Hayden did actually uncover some foreign accounts with about 75 million or so in them or something like that. I may be getting the numbers mixed up, but he said that was it. But Andy came with a paper and documentation saying that he had all of these millions of dollars worth of NFTs that he was hiding as well. So Hayden was kind of frustrated and beyond pissed that Andy popped up with this information and kind of made him look bad in front of Miss Marie. So this really just fuels the fire and the disdain that he already has for Andy. He already does not like her and Fatima. And this made him even more angry. But Hayden, that's kind of what you get for jumping in on her case in the first place. This was originally Andy's case, and he kind of bogarted his way in. So that's what happens. Now, back at Gary's office, Hudson comes in and is talking to him. Gary starts venting about Andy, how she's snooping around and she may cause some trouble. Hudson says that she needs to be taken care of. Gary says not for now, and he declines that offer. But Gary is very unhinged, and there's no telling what he may do. Now, I don't know for sure if he absolutely got rid of Penelope altogether because there was no body. So we don't know what's exactly going on with that. All I know is that it doesn't look good for Penelope. There was blood all over the wall, and he had to have a cleanup crew. So I don't know exactly what happened, but we'll have to wait and see in the future episodes. Now, the last thing that I want to talk about is Aaron and Karen. Mr. Pop-Up himself popped up at the beauty salon with this wonderful stroller. It's new age. It was a luxury stroller. It was for twins, like the Twin Carrier 5000 or something. So at first, Karen was all happy, and then she snapped out of it so quick and was like, how dare you? You're overstepping. Now, Aaron had a look of confusion on his face, like, what is going on? And she's like, you're doing too much. And he looked like he was going to back away at first, and he turned back around and he let Karen have it. He read her for filth. He told her she was miserable and she blames her misery on everyone else. Truth. He also told her that she's never been loved properly, and she doesn't know how to take it when someone is trying to love her properly, and that was her problem with Zach. You could have bought Karen for $1. And he said some other things, but he just basically let her have it and told her that he is going to be a part of his kid's life, or his kid and their siblings' life, and he's going to be there, so just get used to it. So I think Karen really needed to hear that. Karen is kind of like a Grinch to me. She's mean, or I'll say Scrooge. She's mean to everyone. Everything is serious. There's no laughter. Since she's been pregnant, she is not very fun to be around. But Karen was kind of like that before this even happened. And that's why I think her friends kind of pulled away from her, and she really doesn't see that. So we're going to see what's to happen coming up on the next episode. I'm going to release the other recap like right after this one, maybe tomorrow. And I'll see you next time. Let me know how you feel in the comments about this episode and Sisters in general. And make sure you like, share, subscribe. This has been AWTM, and I'll see you next time.